So one of the biggest questions that I've been getting about my personal experience from community college to USC, how did I manage to get my scholarship? How did I manage to afford paying for USC? Considering the fact that USC and also most four-year colleges in America are very expensive. So I'll tell you what I did. So I did mention this in a couple of my other videos, but I'll mention it again. When I was at community college, I honestly did not know much about scholarships. I didn't know much about college grants, like college giving the students money. Obviously, I knew what it was. I mean, everybody knows that, somehow some students receive money from colleges, but I honestly didn't do too much research on how to, receive that money. I didn't do much research on how to obtain it, but I'll tell you what I did. So from community college to USC, after getting my acceptance letter from USC, about, a couple days, I say like 5 to 7 days later, I received another mail saying that I received a half ride. So if you guys don't know what a half ride is, it's basically 50% off tuition. So if college tuition is $10,000, then if you get a half ride, you're paying $5,000, etc., etc. So in my case, I was very fortunate because USC is very expensive, and getting a half ride for that is a large chunk of money that is reduced. Well, like I said, I didn't do much research on how to get the scholarship or the grant, but these are the steps that I took to get the scholarship, and maybe this will work for you. So like in every single community college related video I talk about, I tell you guys that the most important thing is your GPA. Your GPA is hands down by far the most important. There's some videos I made where I talk about, one student having a 4.0 with no extracurriculars and another student having a 3.6 or 3.7 with 1 or 2 extracurriculars. And some of the comments that I've been getting was, how do you know this? I'm not a 4.0 student, I'm a 3.5 student, but I have 2 extracurriculars and I'm very confident that I will transfer well. Well, for those guys, great for you. Hopefully you do go to the college that you want to go to, but I'm just talking from personal experience. Like I've said, I had no extracurriculars. I had no extracurriculars related to school. So I wasn't in a club. I didn't do any community service. I didn't go to the tutoring center and help out tutor for, tutoring credits. All I did was work at Jamba Juice. And Jamba Juice, in my opinion, isn't really a extravagantly great looking thing on your application. So for me, what I had was, I had a 4.0. I had a perfect grade. I had perfect stats, no flaws. And the reason why I say a perfect grade with no flaws is, if you submit a resume, if you submit an application where it's perfect, if I was a college admission counselor, it'd be very difficult for me to find something to criticize. You know what I mean? If I was a college counselor and I received an application that was 3.7, I could tell myself, hey, this guy worked hard, he's smart, but he didn't do that well in this class, or he didn't do well in that class. Whereas if I had an application that was a 4.0, it's hard to criticize. What can you criticize on when everything is perfect? So I feel like because of my GPA, the scholarship was for sure a big reason, because on my scholarship letter, it directly stated that you got this half ride scholarship, but it said that if I didn't maintain a certain GPA, which was a 3.2 at USC, they would take away my half ride scholarship. And that's actually another pretty funny story that I'll probably talk about in another video. But a tangent, I did not get a 3.2 my first semester, and I still got the half ride, but you gotta keep that on DL. But even though GPA is most important, you can't just have a 4.0. You can't just have a perfect grade and expect to get a transfer scholarship. Another very big important thing is your classes. The classes that you choose, the major that you choose, has to be related to the school that you go to. So if you get a 4.0 in community college with a bunch of random classes that don't even fit your major, that doesn't even match the articulation, it's useless, it's pointless. But if your 4.0 is tailored and geared towards the major you want to go to, So let's say that you want to go to computer science or STEM. You know, if you get a 4.0 and your classes are, you know, the science classes, the math classes, whatever, and you get an A in those, that is a good 4.0. There's a difference between a good 4.0 and a bad 4.0. The smart student, the good student, will choose the classes that transfer over, the classes that match the articulation agreement, and get the 4.0 at the same time. So the classes are also very important to solidify you getting the half ride or any type of transfer scholarship. The third thing, and honestly, I don't even know how accurate this is, but I feel like part of it is also luck. Let's say that in an applicant pool, you know, everyone got a 4.0. They can't be giving out scholarships to every single person. So there has to be some kind of luck factor, some kind of bias factor. But honestly, since I don't work for the college counseling admission system, I can't say for sure. But what I can say for sure is your GPA and choosing the classes that transfer over to your major is probably the most important thing for you to get a transfer or any type of scholarship. So hopefully this clears up some of the debates that I've been seeing, you know, on my channel on how to get the scholarship. But basically, the most important thing is your GPA, and then the second most important thing is choosing the classes that transfer over according to your major. And that is how you get the transfer scholarship.